It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
Revelio.
Today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumph and tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effects it had on the wizard milling industry. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the Bell Tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle, it was completed in the early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts. Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly. Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lord Cox said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display here in the Bell Tower entrance hall. All students introduce themselves to this hero.
Revelio.
This isn't.
老京城在1660年诞生。
Grimbold Weft was responsible for some of the most important work done in the Goblin Rebellion. Buttons on witches and wizards.
Revelio.
Oh yes, I see you found Grimbold Weft.
Yes, I rather enjoyed seeking him out.
The thrill of the scholarly pursuit. I know the feeling quite well. Now, let's turn our attention to the agreeability and general good nature of Sir Aphbuttle. He's also nearby. See what you can learn from him for your next assignment. Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the Bell Tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather, statues of knights, I should clarify. The knights.
自重四个。
statue of Sir Halfpuddle of the cheerful countenance nestled among the ranks.
Abandoning class to wander the halls is in
His
keeping with
fame was
Professor
not
Binns'
won
manner
by
of teaching.
vanquishing foes in single combat, nor by slaying bloodthirsty
What I
dragons.
wouldn't give to be back on a broom right
Rather
now.
in training yards and sculleries.
Sir Halfpuddle.
This is a
Where his
centuries-old
warm and
likeness
approachable
of
demeanor
Poundador.
was celebrated
Fearless
by old
mouse
friends
hunter and devoted
newcomers
study
alike.
companion.
I
People have always loved their
encourage
pets.
one to make
I
the
find that
waving
comforting.
statue's acquaintance.
Wagadu's history is, well, a bit different than that of
Revelio.
Hogwarts, to say the least.
At least we're out of the classroom.
Revelio.
败路走。
These bits of broom are all that's left of a witch called Celine Wartnobby. Rumour has it, she was... her experimental lunar apparition charm. She was never seen again.
Sir Skagglethorpe the Heedless once challenged a mountain troll to a game of musical chairs. Care to guess who won? If you fail history of magic, you're doomed to repeat it. The class, that is.
Leave it to Binns to make the most interesting school in the world seem dull.
There's nothing quite so magical as history. Just
Revelio.
immutable history. Our students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts. They never bother me. As one would expect, Hogwarts contains no narthexes, since obviously those would not be found in castles.
Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Halfpuddle.
Ah, well done. Alas, Sir Halfpuddle's affability was his undoing. Died instantly trying to befriend a basilisk. Eye contact is not always to be encouraged. So beloved was he that even some goblins mourned his passing. Of course, that did not bode well with the rest of the goblins, most of whom could not abide mourning the loss of a wizard.
Pity goblins and wizards can't get along.
True. But imagine how dull my lectures would be without goblin rebellions to discuss. History does tend to repeat. It is a series of patterns, a thought both comforting and disconcerting. The wise student, such as yourself, will learn from it.
Jesus.
History is written by those who do their schoolwork, so they say. Or at least, I like to say that.
How can we do so much and accomplish so little?
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
Confringo!
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death?
No. Vengeance is not what drives me. My father would not want that. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight for those who cannot. I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is worth it. I am glad you seem to think so too.
What does your mother think about all of this?
Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She is an excellent seer, but I think it bothers her to this day that she did not see my father's death coming. She misses him, as do I. So I believe on some level she understands my need to seek justice in a small way, but that does not mean that she likes it.
Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing?
Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
What the heck?
Lumos. Bombarder. Revelio. Levioso.
这个就谈话而已嘛，没别的了。肖像的困境。
The Ministry will hear about this. The fiends will rot in Azkaban.
Revelio. Sir, are you all right? You seem to be in some distress.
All right? Do I look all right? I've been kidnapped!
How can you be kidnapped when you're right here?
What sort of question is that? Of course I'm right here. I've more than one frame. Do you only have one home? It's my other frame. It's been stolen. And by students, no less. They paid filthy thieves to steal my other frame.
Oh dear. That sounds awful.
Well, awful is exactly what Astoria Cricket is. She's behind all of this. She and her friends were moaning about me of all the nerve. Then I heard a plot to enlist a gang of good-for-nothings to have me stolen from the 3 broomsticks. That's why my other frame hung. A hovel of a place. Though I suppose one could do worse. I once knew a portrait who ended up in the Hog's Head. No one's heard from him since.
Right. So back to your frame.
Ah, yes. There I was, powdering my wig, and the next thing I knew, I was being manhandled by rogues and carried off. As if I can afford not to be at my post. I do important work for the headmaster, and I need my other frame back at the 3 broomsticks.
Just who is Astoria Cricket, and what would she want with your frame?
She's a 4th-year troublemaker, that's who. She and her band of hoodlums discuss all sorts of misdeeds right under my nose, and then resent me for overhearing them. I can only assume they took my frame in some misguided attempt to punish me for doing my job.
What do you mean you do important work for the headmaster?
Let's just say I overhear quite a bit in Serona's fine establishment. And the headmaster likes to know all about it. He's come to count on me in this regard. Reminds me of my prefect days.
I don't suppose you have any idea where your stolen frame was taken. Can you see anything from it?
I most certainly can. They brought me to a ruin of all places. Some crumbling atrocity surrounded by water from the sound of it. Oh, I do also recall seeing the coast on the way.
I could look into the matter for you.
Oh, would you? How marvelous. Do it quickly though, won't you? The place they took me to is quite beneath me. Off you go then.
肖像的困境。霍格华兹应该是没啥，目前是没有未解的任务喽。对，这边都是 OK 了。红米村，待会顺便把红米村的解掉。
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Being burgled. I should pretend I never heard the rumours of your involvement.
Revelio. Astoria Cricket?
That depends. Am I in trouble?
Ferdinand Pratt thinks you should be. Says you stole his frame.
I wouldn't call it stolen. Relocated's more like it. How do I put this nicely? Ferdinand Pratt is a postulant boil, and he's lucky I didn't have him sealed in a wall.
He truly is rather foul, isn't he?
All he does is spy on students in here and report back to the headmaster. Sometimes, if there's nothing to report, he'll make it up. I spent 4 hours in detention last week, all because he told Black that I was planning to drain the lake, whatever that means. It was the last straw. He and his frame had to go.
May I ask where you put him?
Well, I didn't put him anywhere. The frame is likely with the fine gents I paid to snatch it. They camp in a ruin by the coast. I just wanted it far enough away that I'd never have to think about Ferdinand Pratt ever again.
You do know he's screaming in the library as we speak.
Oh, for the love of Merlin. If you ask me, he's got nothing to scream about. I could have had him put in the Hog's Head. The pampered Pratt would have hated it. Grimy walls, smell of goats. And the patrons, they eat snooty princes like Ferdinand for dinner. But what's done is done. He isn't here anymore, and if I were you, I should enjoy it. Lovely chatting with you.
Revelio.
世界地图，这边其他应该是还好，支线、村庄的小人，哇，这个是。 这一过，
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
这边有别的野兽，玻璃兽，这应该是不太需要。
Was that meant to be an attack of some sort?
You haven't had mushroom stew like what my mother used to make.
Off on another adventure, are we?
No need to race now, my friend. Hello. Do you have anything for sale?
That I do. The name is Rohan Prakash, and welcome to the oldest shop in the region.
Is that right? How long have you been in business?
Well, I've only been running it a short time myself, but my father ran it for many years before he fell ill.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry about your father.
Oh, he's still around. Would love to be doing what I'm doing. Until he is able, however, I will gladly manage it for the both of us. But for now, a word about your health and safety. I assume you're as concerned as the rest of us about the Goblin Uprising, the Dark Wizards, even the Dugbogs have gone mad. But our shop can sell you any number of supplies that will help to keep you safe from all of that. Please have a look, and do come back. You're always welcome here.
Thank you, Mr. Prakash. Best of luck to you and your father.
I appreciate your words.
What do you have for sale?
Please have a look. An excellent purchase. Thank you. I hope to see you again.
High Wing, go! Slow down now. There we go. Accio.
Isn't Nora Treadwell precious little gun? Look what you've done! You pay for it!
Glacius.
I see you! But quick now! You're the one side of the grip! Give it
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
Revelio.
No, we keep the plan. Ransom the portrait and black for double the gold.
Would you please meet with me in the Great Hall? I have come upon a difficult time, and I need a friend.
Shit.
Anyone looking for trouble, found me.
I shall cast.
You send up. Imperio. Revelio.
So crucial. 是往这走吗？不是，应该是要从地窖下去。
I should investigate.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
It's a wonder there's anything left of me.
Calm down, I'm here now.
Calm down. Those buffoons outside have been talking about burning me. Me! If they weren't all sharing half a brain, they'd realize I'm worth more to them intact and at the 3 broomsticks.
How was that?
With everything I overhear, I have a veritable trove of information. Now, don't just stand there. I need to be back by cocktail hour. The place will be like a funeral without me.
What if I don't want to return you to the 3 broomsticks?
What on earth do you mean?
What if I took you to the Hog's Head instead? I've heard such nice things.
Huh? What a funny little joke. Now, the 3 broomsticks, please. Oh, they're bound to be missing me terribly. Be sure to carry me carefully, won't you? My pantaloons are already creased. Where have you put me? It's pitch black in here. I shan't stand for this.
Revelio.
可以选择2个选项。
Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin. Lumos. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. Lumos. Merlin trials won't get the best of me. Revelio.
Take me out of here immediately! You'll be sorry if I catch a flea! Are you listening to me? Get me out!
两个都试试吧。手动储存。先带他到3根扫帚。
I must protest! This is no place for polite company! Not with the horrors you keep... Oh! Finally! Back on my wall and more angelic than ever!
There you are. Welcome back.
I'm not usually one to give thanks. There's a sort of servant ring to it. But I suppose some gratitude is in order. As a show of goodwill, I'll exclude whatever misdeeds I hear about you in my reports to the headmaster. And I do hear quite a bit. Now, be off with you. I can't be seen talking to a student. Go on then, go! It's all right, everyone. I'm back.
Folks still talk about you taking down that troll in the village circle. You certainly made an impression.
Another 选项，手动储存这个猪头酒吧。
What are you, a troll? All your heavy stamping about is going to damage my frame. You there! Are you deaf? There's a terrible draft in here going straight up my pantaloons.
猪头酒吧，还是这个选项。
No, Godric Gryffindor was the great...
is the meaning of this? This isn't the Three Broomsticks!
No, it's not. It's the Hog's Head.
Did you fall into a cauldron of stupid potion? You have brought me to the wrong place! It's absolutely vile in here.
It's no Three Broomsticks, that's for certain.
Please, you can't mean to leave me here. Please.
Goodbye, Ferdinand. Enjoy your new home.
Oi! I normally toss the both of you out. But I like the look of the fancy man. Target practice.
Please, you can't leave me here. Squalor does terrible things to my complexion. Please, you can't use me as target practice anymore.
回去图书馆看看。图书馆的元肖像。
I do not belong in this awful place. I can practically smell the despair.
Revelio.
还是依照原来的吧。
To me? Get me out! I must protest! This is no place for polite company! Not with the horrors you keep. Oh, finally! Back on my ball and more angelic than ever.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
I'm not usually one to give thanks. There's a sort of servant ring to it. But I suppose some gratitude is in order. As a show of goodwill, I'll exclude whatever misdeeds I hear about you in my reports to the headmaster. And I do hear quite a bit. Now, be off with you. I can't be seen talking to a student. Go on then, go! It's all right, everyone. I'm back.
Revelio. Incendio. Glacius. Accio. Confringo.
肖像的，肖像的困境。
Lovely to be back at the Three Broomsticks. Oh, I can practically taste the butterbeer.
Revelio. Incendio.
寻找焦点。哇，这个任务来看一下是多久的？这应该只是谈话的，没差。找一下它。大厅。
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Revelio.
把踩到餐桌。
Some days are more difficult than others.
Lassie, is everything all right?
There are times when my father's absence drifts to the back of my mind, and I feel peace for a day or two. But this is not one of those times. I miss him. I miss running with him. I miss Matibeleland. He should still be here. And it's my fault that he isn't.
I'm sorry, Natty. I wish there was something I could do to help.
You have done plenty. In fact, many of my good days are good because of you. The bad days, however, I believe I would feel less helpless if I could truly put an end to Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's miserable lot. Each day they remain free, they do more damage, leaving people like Archie Bickle to suffer the consequences.
I agree, Natty. We'll get them. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause.
Thank you. I believe we will get them, beginning with Harlow. Thank you for speaking with me. It was very helpful.
Shit.
Revelio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Bombarda.
来分多。雷文克和帕夫。这边应该就先到这里哦。哇，任务不少。地图好像没有新的任务。人马与石头。